This is Mike, and over the next 4 minutes I'll walk you through replacing the broken power switch on my Anycubic wash and cure station. The other day when I turned it off, the switch fell out. There was a post on each side of this plastic piece that broke off. The first thing to do is unplug the power. Now I'll take out the 4 screws that hold the switch panel on. Next, I need to take the wires off the switch. They were kind of tough to pull off, so I had to use a screwdriver to wedge them off. There's 2 tabs on the back of the switch that hold it on the panel. I use the screwdriver to push them in while pushing down to get the switch out. I bought these toggle switches at Home Depot before I ever opened the machine. I wasn't sure how much room I had in there, so I got 2 different sizes. The larger switch could handle 20 amps. The smaller switch could handle 6 amps. Probably should have checked this first, but I found out the power supply for the machine puts out 6 amps, so either switch will work. The switches are designed for a round hole, but they worked fine in the rectangular hole. I decided to use the bigger switch because it covered that better. The switch uses screw terminals, so I need to replace the spade connectors that are on the wires of the machine. I push the insulators back and cut the connector, leaving the crimped end on the wire. I knew that leaving part of the old connector on the wires would make it difficult for them to fit in the crimp area on my new connectors. So I removed the blue insulator on my new connectors and wedged a small screwdriver in the crimp area to open it up more. You just have to twist the blue insulator to remove it. I held the terminal with pliers while I wedged open the crimp area. The first time I tried to fit the new terminals on the old wires, they wouldn't fit because I left burrs on the old connectors when I cut them. I used my pliers to squeeze the burrs down so they'd fit. The terminal slipped right on then. I crimped the end down and then had to repeat the process for the other wire. As a backup, I also soldered the connection. The holes on the terminals were a little tight on the screws, so I had to thread the screws into the terminals first. After I screwed the terminal to the switch, I slid the insulator back down. Normally I'd use heat shrink here, but I couldn't find any, so I just used electrical tape on top of that. Repeated the process for the other wire, and then screwed the cover back on. Plugged the power back in and turned it on. Did a quick test in cure mode and then another in wash mode, and everything worked. Well, there you go. Now I have a heavy-duty switch in there that shouldn't break like the other one, and happy printing.